Well, hello trainers, and welcome to another expert guide to the world of Pokemon Go. This here's only one link, and I'm back here in Oklahoma City. I'm going to teach you guys how to master trading, and this is Master Trading 2.0. There's a lot of things with trading that's come out recently, and that's Lucky Pokemon, Best Friends, Great Friends, Ultra Friends, Stardust discounts, but we're going to cover all that really quickly. In this video, we're definitely going to cover everything we already know about trading and all the basics, along with some of the expert tips on trading. Number one is definitely how to trade efficiently. Number two, I'm going to teach you guys how to trade for luckies and what's the most effective way to trade for luckies and maximize your lucky count. Another one is definitely I'm going to show you guys how to trade 200 Pokemon in a day and actually get 2 special trades in a day as well. So we're going to go through all that as quickly as we can. And let's start off with number one. This here is let's thank GoHub for this one, but they put together an entire list of good friends, great friends, ultra friends, and how much it costs for Stardust. But this here is a brand new list that GoHub just put out with the discounted rates for Stardust. And the discounted rates for Stardust is actually amazing, but there is an effective way on how to trade to get these things. For example, number one definitely is special trades. There are 3 categories of special trades. Number one is definitely your legendary trades. That counts as a special trade. 2 is shiny Pokemon. That also counts as a special trade. And number 3, if you're trading something not in your decks. However, trading something not in your decks does not apply. For example, a Snowy Cast form that's not in your decks will still cost you the same amount for a special trade, but will not count against your special trade for the day. We found that out recently. But yeah, this here is the list for the discounted trades, but I'm definitely going to show you guys how to trade efficiently right now. Right here on the screen, we have one here is a trade for a 1 heart trade of good friends, along with with the same Pokemon going both ways. And then you can actually see this is actually a trade with a 1 heart friend. And if you don't know what the CP range that's actually on there, the CP range that's actually on there is CP. For example, let's take the Registeel, 1102 to 1292. 1292 is actually perfect. They'll actually tell you if your Pokemon comes out the other side with this number, it's actually a perfect Pokemon. Same thing with the Roselia, 409 to 491. 491, if it pops up on the other side after the trade, is actually a perfect Roselia. So you don't have to appraise it or IV check it. If it pops out on the other side as 491, it's a perfect. And for this Registeel, if it pops up on the other side for its level, I believe the level on this Registeel is level 20. It should come out on the other side as 1292. So that there would be a perfect Registeel. So you really don't have to IV check it, and that's with a 1 heart friend. If you notice, the CP starting range is 1102 to 1292, and that's 1 heart. On the second screen here, you actually have another trade with the same exact Registeel and the same exact Roselia, because we actually came in trade night and everyone had the same Roselia that we just caught. And we trade one of my Registeels. Again, if you notice, the CP range for this Registeel is now CP 1115 to 1292. And if you notice, this is a 2 heart of friendship, which is great friendships. And if you notice, the CP range really does shrink from what it was before to now 1115 to 1292 with 2 hearts. And of course the Roselia CP has also gone up too. So now the range in which the Pokemon where you can actually receive from will actually start shrinking to be better and better if you happen to be better friendships with somebody. And this is a 3 heart friendship, which would be Ultra Friends. If your Ultra Friendship is this high, you notice it says 1128 to 1292. 1292 is still the perfect Pokemon for this level 20 here. And then on the bottom, the CP range for the Roselia has gone up as well. So now this is 3 hearts. Now I don't know what 4 hearts are gonna look like. I'm hoping it'd be between the range of egg hatches 10, 10, 10 and above. But if you notice, the level does not change when you're trading with a friend. So if you happen to trade, let's just say a maxed out Dragonite for somebody else's maxed out Tyranitar. But both those levels of Pokemon are level 40, and since you're trading it to one another, you guys won't have to power it up anymore because the levels will not change. The IVs will change, but the levels will not change. And you can tell the IV changes because the CPs will change. Now, another tip is if you happen to trade a small Rattata, a big Magikarp, or a Pikachu, it actually does count towards your medal. So if you happen to trade tiny Rattata, now sometimes people don't know what actually is a tiny Rattata. Well, if you happen to appraise it, there's usually two different phrases when you praise a Rattata. One will actually say, hey, it's small. The other one is, it's tiny. You want to find the phrase for your trainer, which would be really tiny. And then that would be your tiny Rattata. And for big carps, it would actually be 13.13 is the minimum for a big carp, regardless of what your gym leader or your trainer tells you, if it is a big carp or a huge carp. For Team Instinct, I believe it tells you if it's huge or just big, but in reality, it actually needs to be 13.13 for a Magikarp, and trust me, I know. And then for Pikachus, of course, it could be any Pikachu you're trading to somebody else. It'll actually count towards their badge, and most people will be missing either a Rattata badge, a Pikachu badge, or a Magikarp badge. So you know what? You can help a friend out. If you happen to catch a Rattata, catch it. Just make sure if it's a tiny, and save it for somebody else. Same thing goes for Carps and Pikachus, because those have real trade value. Another one that has a lot of trade value is the older the Pokemon, the better. And what goes into that is lucky Pokemon. The better chances to get a lucky is if you happen to trade an older Pokemon for a new Pokemon. Now, let's just say, for example, you happen to trade a new Pokemon for another new Pokemon. It is about a 1 in 20 chance you're going to get a lucky. I've traded probably about 20 or 30 Pokemon before I see my lucky, but then once in a while, I'll get 2 or 3 in a row. So it really does average out to, you get a lucky Pokemon for estimately every 20 trades averaged out. If you happen to do 100 trades a day, you have a pretty good chance of at least finding 5 luckies. Now, if you happen to trade an older Pokemon, let's just say a really old one like 2016, for a brand new one, there's no guarantees to get a lucky. Now, I've tested it out on many instances where I trade a really old Pokemon for a brand new one, and it took me 15 trades before I even saw a lucky, and it hurts because 2016, you can't make any more of those. The purpose of having a lucky Pokemon is that you get the nice, pretty screen, like I'm going to show you guys right now, a pretty screen in your Pokedex, the little bubbly gold screen right there in your Pokedex, every time you go in there, and every time you have a lucky Pokemon of that, it actually does count it. But another thing that it does is every lucky Pokemon will cost half the Stardust to power it up all the way. And if you happen to have a lucky Pidgey, you probably wouldn't power those up. But if you happen to have a, let's just say, lucky Mewtwo that you traded with somebody else, that's a huge price cut just to power up a proper Pokemon. It costs, on average, from a level 20 Pokemon all the way to level 40, about 250,000 dust. So this will actually save you a great deal of Stardust if that's what you're aiming for. And of course, you would want to aim for a great Pokemon like a Larvitar or a Dratini. And if it turns lucky, you can power it up all the way. And lucky Pokemon really do turn out to have great IVs. Great IVs is no different than egg hatches. A minimum of 10 attack, 10 defense, and 10 HP. So yes, you want to target the luckies and find the best way to do it. But in conjunction, when it comes down to having a special trade, you only get 1 shot, or in this case, I'm about to show you guys how to get 2 shots at getting a lucky Pokemon. Now, if you guys happen to be trading in the in-game trade screen, what you can do is type in the name of the Pokemon right up there on top. And then actually, let's say you type in Ghastly. All your Ghastlies will pop up, and you can actually tell whether or not you already have a lucky of that type. So you can be like, I don't need a Ghastly. I might need a Wobbuffet or something. Well, next now I'm going to teach you guys how to trade, how to get 200 trades in a day. For example, today you already hit your max limit. The one thing you can definitely do is close down your app. Then then go straight to the settings menu in your game. For Android and iPhones are basically the same. You go straight into the settings to your date and time. You take off the automatic date time settings, and then you switch down to a time zone. Usually I pick Tokyo. Tokyo should be the next day. And you're going into the next day to time setting on your phone, and then you open up your app. You're now technically in the future, and then you can do another 100 trades. Well, what's the purpose of that? For example, let's just say you're going to be working a very busy work week. Tomorrow you're going to be you won't be able to play the game. At least you can get your friendships caught up with people. If you do use that technique, you also get to do your another 100 trades. If you're actually one of those people who are trading with a bunch of friends, and you want to at least get your trades in for tomorrow, even though you won't be able to see them. And another thing is, this same technique you can use to actually do 2 special trades. And what's the purpose of doing 2 special trades today? Well, let's just say I'm trading for my brand new 2018 Mewtwo for one of your 2016 Pokemon, so you can actually get try to get a lucky Mewtwo. Well, the flip side of that is I probably have to wait till tomorrow to see you, if I even see you. And then for trades like that, the honesty, dishonesty factor, I'd rather take out of there. Where I'd rather, yeah, I'll trade you a Mewtwo tomorrow so you can get it. Nah, I'd rather not. Let's trade it right now. Set the time forward. Now you can trade me a Mewtwo since I just traded you one, and I'll trade you a 2016, so both of us can actually get a lucky Mewtwo. So that's one of the ways you can actually do 2 special trades a day. But you're not robbing the game of anything. You're not getting 2 special trades a day. You're actually using your special trade today and getting one for tomorrow. It's no different than the free raid pass you guys get. You guys got one yesterday to save for the next day. This is the same basic concept, but you're borrowing from tomorrow's free raid pass, or borrowing from tomorrow's special trade, or borrowing from tomorrow's 100 trades. So yeah, that's actually how you do 2 special trades. And right here I'm about to show you a clip on how I'm doing 2 special trades with my friend Dakota, and unfortunately yeah, it didn't turn out lucky, but he really needed a Rayquaza, and I gave him one. But here we go. Yes, you're right. Right there. This is one of my oldest Pokemon for
I would like to.
And if you noticed before, it's only 1,200 for the trade. So right there, if it comes out on the other side as 312 for Dakota, it'll end up being 100%. If it comes out as 222, it'll come out 100% for me. So let's hope I get 222, and hope Dakota gets 312. Go and make 1 special trade a day. Ready? We're gonna do 1. Oh no! I don't even see it. It's a trade cooldown. Oh, I don't even see it. Well, Dakota gets to see it. I have to check my inbox. 312, something 12. Oh, I think you want to praise that one, buddy. I'm gonna go to my box because I know.
Like 67.84.
There it is. Oh, and it was not 22.22. And it did not end up being lucky. That's terrible. It's terrible. We did not get a lucky. But that's okay. It got crap. So, next we're going to do another special trade, but the special way how to do that is we're going to close this one out and go straight into our settings. Oh my goodness. Date and time. I'll take off automatic settings, and I'll go with select time zone. I'm just gonna select Japan because it's the next day over there in Japan right now. Oh my goodness. Did I miss Japan? Tokyo, there we go. Change to Tokyo time zone. I'm gonna open Pokemon Go.
And I have no skills whatsoever. We did that, I guess it was about 2 or 3 days or after that. We've been playing Pokemon.
We're gonna do another trade. Hopefully Dakota gets a lucky one, because he's asking for a Rayquaza.
I just downloaded the game because after that point I was playing
Rayquaza. If you know that the time has changed to 11:07, it's the next day. And I'm going to open a trade screen with Dakota here.
They became his top ones, and I was sitting there going, yay, I'm going to be known for writing about it.
We're going to do another special trade. Polly? Polly? We're going to do another special trade here. And Dakota here would like... What was that? Rayquaza. Oh my goodness, I didn't unstart my Rayquaza. Here, you're gonna get it! You're gonna get it! Alright, so that's Why is it 60,000?
Oh, I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have a Rayquaza. Oh, that explains a lot. Okay, so Dakota does not have a Rayquaza, but it's okay. Instead of the 1 million price tag, it's a 60,000 for 3 hearts. Thank goodness for 3 hearts, dude. All right, here we go. Ready? So you're looking for a 2083. If a 2083 pops up on your screen, it's a hundo. If a 2684 pops up on mine, I got a hundo. So we want hundo luckies. Hundo luckies. Hundo luckies. Hundo luckies. Hundo luckies. Hundo luckies.
Yeah, you got that. And so that's how he was in state. So
Hope you get it. Oh, and it did not turn out lucky. But there you go. That's 2 special trades right there in front of you. And since we are the next day, we also have the friendship increase. But just to make sure, we're going to go back and change and fix the time. And last but not least, if you guys don't already know how to trade for distance, trading for distance is basically all the Lowland eggs that you guys have been opening up. They came from somewhere. If you guys have been making friends, for example, in PkmnMasterHolly World Friend site, you should have a bunch of group codes from everyone in the world. If you don't, I'll put a link in the description. You guys should really check it out. Yeah, and if you happen to open up a Lowland, one of those pink and yellow eggs, which would happen to contain a Lowland Pokemon, so I call them a Lowland Eggs. If you happen to open up one of those eggs, a Lowland Pokemon will pop out. And depending on where that egg came from, if it came from Spain, it would be Spanish, a Lowland Pokemon. And if you having that, if you happen to trade it for a local Pokemon, you actually get the distance between wherever you're from and Spain. If you happen to open up an Australian one, it would be wherever you're from and Australia. And for those trades, that's how you get the badge for pilot badge. So you want to do the 100 trades a day at least to try to get the gentleman badge, and the 1,000,000 kilometers to get the pilot badge. And one more thing I want to teach you guys how to do is how to trade on the move. If you happen to be on a really long car ride, which I'm about to be on, the one thing that's really hard to do is you can't trade on the move, because if you happen to try to trade with somebody in a car, it really doesn't work out because it keeps saying you're too far away from each other. One of the tips and tricks I can give you on how to trade on the move is if both of you push trade at the same time, the game will actually recognize you in being at the same place. So that's how you do a trade on the move. And another example of the trading radius. For our trade nights, we actually trade in a mall. And you actually have a 100-meter trade radius. The 100-meter trade radius is basically is a football field. It's really far. So if you happen to be stationed where we are, like in the food court of the mall, I can actually still be trading someone, just generic trades. You know, I won't be able to see them, but I'm able to trade with them all while I shop. While I go get some food. With someone, you can actually get some pretty good trades in if you happen to hold your trade night, let's just say, at a mall. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps you guys out on how to do trades, and hopefully you guys can get as many trades as you guys can during this weekend. But I'm going to leave you guys off with 62,150. I do appreciate everyone's support, and I'll see you guys at the next one.